மனதில் உறுதி வேண்டும், வாக்கினில் இனிமை வேண்டும், நினைவு நல்லது வேண்டும், நெருங்கின பொருள் கைப்பட வேண்டும், கனவு மெய்ப்பட வேண்டும், கைவசமாவது விரைவில் வேண்டும். கல்லூரியின் மாணவ பிரதிநிதிகளை நியமிக்கும் விழா இப்பொழுது நடைபெறவிருக்கிறது.
Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves. Positive leaders empower people to accomplish their goals. Good morning, everyone. A galaxy of student leaders, honorable guests, dear teachers, respected parents, beloved students, and everybody joining us live virtually from their homes. Today marks the investiture of student members of the Leadership Council to our institution. Thus, dear audience, you may eventually discover the beauty of this day as the event gradually blossoms. The investiture ceremony is where the Student Council takes charge of responsibility, right, and office. Moving forward, I take pride in getting this opportunity to welcome all the distinguished guests to this special occasion of this investiture ceremony. With that said, I, Adil Sharif, final year mechanical engineering,
And I, Trisha, final year English literature, would like to give a gracious welcome to you all. So, reiterating the COVID protocols, we request you to follow social distancing, wear mask, and sanitize your hands frequently. Kindly leave one seat gap adhering the COVID protocols inside the auditorium. பக்தியினாலேயே இந்த பாரினில் மேன்மைகள் பெருகும், இங்கே செய்கை அனைத்திலும் செம்மை பிறந்திடும், கல்வி வளரும், பல காரியம் கையுறும், அல்லல் ஒழியும். நாம் தொடங்கிய செயல்கள் அனைத்தும் கோபுரம் போல நிமிர்ந்து நிலை பெற இறைவாழ்த்தை பாட மின் பொறியியலில் 3ஆம் ஆண்டில் பயிலும் ஸ்ரேயாவை அழைக்கிறோம்.
எனக்கு வேண்டும் வரங்களை இசைப்பேன் கேளாய் கணபதி, எனக்கு வேண்டும் வரங்களை இசைப்பேன் கேளாய் கணபதி, மனதில் சலனம் இல்லாமல் மதியில் இருளே தோன்றாமல், மனதில் சலனம் இல்லாமல் மதியில் இருளே தோன்றாமல், நினைக்கும் பொழுது நின் மௌன நிலை வந்திட நீ செயல் வேண்டும், கணக்கும் செல்வம் 100 வயது இவையும் தரணி கடவாயே, எனக்கு வேண்டும் வரங்களை இசைப்பேன் கேளாய் கணபதி, இசைப்பேன் கேளாய் கணபதி.
நன்றி ஸ்ரேயா. குமரகுரு கல்வி நிறுவனங்கள் இன்று ஆள் போல் தழைத்து வளர்ந்துள்ளன. கல்வி பயணத்தில் மிக உயர்ந்த சிகரத்தை நம் நிறுவனம் அடைந்துள்ளது. அனைத்து சாதனைகளுக்கும் காரணமாக அமைந்தவர் நம் கல்லூரியின் நிறுவனர் அருட்செல்வர் நா. மகாலிங்கம் ஐயாவிற்கு மரியாதை செலுத்தி மலர் தூவி வழிபடுகிறோம்.
I now invite the dignitaries and the representatives of the Leadership Council from KCT and class to play floral tributes to our legendary founder, Arutchelva Dr. N. Mahalingam Ayya.
We would like to express our sincere condolences on unexpected death of India's first Chief of Defence Staff, General Bipin Rawat, along with his wife and 11 others. The lone survivor, Group Captain Varun Singh, is currently under treatment. Let us pray for his speedy recovery. We request the audience and the dignitaries to rise from their seat and observe silence for departed soul on the line of duty.
You may please take your seats. I now invite Mr. Nivedan, Program Lead, Center for Leadership Empowerment and Development at Kumaraguru Institutions, to deliver the welcome address and present a silhouette about the Leadership Council of Kumaraguru.
As we remember the soldiers from the tragic incident yesterday, I see this event as a solemn occasion and a reminder to ourselves of the responsibility that we hold in various capacities in the society. Now, on behalf of the Kumaraguru institutions, I welcome you all to the 6th Investiture ceremony of the Student Leadership Council of Kumaraguru College of Technology and 2nd Investiture ceremony of the Kumaraguru College of Liberal Arts and Science. I take this opportunity to welcome Sri Shankar Vanavrayar, Joint Correspondent, Kumaraguru Institution, Dr. Joseph P. Thanikal, Director, Kumaraguru College of Technology, Dr. Saravanan, Principal, Kumaraguru College of Technology, Dr. Vijila Kennedy, Principal, Kumaraguru College of Liberal Arts and Science, Dr. Elilarasi, Associate Dean, School of Foundational Sciences, Dr. Vijilesh, Assistant Dean, Office of Student Affairs, the Deans of Class, Heads of various departments, and faculty members and staff. A special welcome to all the parents who have joined us here today and who are also watching virtually, and a special invite to my fellow KCTians and classmates. I also wish everyone the best of their health, and let us ensure we follow COVID-19 appropriate behavior for our and others' safety. About the Leadership Council, our founder chairman, Arutselva Dr. N. Mahalingam Ayya, a visionary, always believed in building the nation through the holistic development of students. The Leadership Council was one such initiative which was established in the year 2016 under the guidance of our joint correspondent. As we see today, the Leadership Council has grown to be a league of leaders who work along with the students, the management, and the academic administration for the holistic development of the student community. The Council is envisioned to be a thought leadership body who also actively engage in decision-making process for the institutional development and take part in strategic planning and execution both at the department level and through other verticals. The members of the Council strive to enhance the students' experience and expectations leading to personal success. Every year, the members of the Council are selected through a 5-stage process from the statement of purpose, immersion to the interviews, and the action plan that puts their ability to test. Over the past 6 years, the Leadership Council members have initiated various projects and programs that stand testimony to their passion, dedication, and commitment. This year, we have 46 student leaders here with us, both from KCT and class, representing the 16 departments at KCT, including the PG vertical, and the 9 departments at class, and various domains which are unique in the Kumaraguru ecosystem. The other verticals include academic research, academic design, innovation, social impact, ethics and values, arts, literature, sports, national organization, entrepreneurship, and learning and development. To the members of the LC seated here, as you all formally step into the role, there are expectations, and together comes the responsibility. When your tenure comes to an end, and when you look back, ensure that you have set benchmarks for your juniors to aspire. Be a volunteer, an initiator, a thinker, a person of action, and amplify the impact working together with the student community as a team. Importantly, cherish the lessons that you learn from the challenges and failures. To all the other students here, 2021 has been a year of resilience and also a year of healing. Interestingly, I have an information to share with you today. Yesterday, Google released its Year in Review 2021 report. And it stated that of the many searches that people did, the following 3 questions were among the top. And I read, what is my purpose? How can I help my community? How to be resilient? I repeat, what is my purpose? How can I help my community? How to be resilient? These are the questions that many of us have in our mind too. Let us together in our life and also as a team find answers and also try to be answers for these questions. Together, let us create greater impact for the institution, which will ripple through the society, to the nation and the world at large. Once again, I take this opportunity to welcome you all as we now formally move into the proceedings of the event today. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Nivedan.
Let no one despise you for your youth, but set the believers as an example in speech, in conduct, in love, in faith, in purity. Dr. Joseph V. Thanikal has been with KCT for more than 2 decades and was the principal from 2006 to 2009. He has been the lead in many international research and consultancy projects. He has international academic and research exposure for many years. I now invite you to felicitate the gathering, sir.
Good morning, and distinguished guests on the dais, and my dear students, parents, and the other invited guests on the auditorium. It's really my privilege to be here today morning to felicitate this leadership and the people who are going to take leadership role in different sectors. I would say that this is a change in the generation. And we talk about the change in generation, it needs to be demonstrated. And I really appreciate Mr. Shangavanavarayer, who's the joint correspondent, who has made this change of empowering people to act and also to learn through this empowerment what is actually the leadership. So this is what is required today, that the power of decentralization and trusting people that they are able to do things. So I was just going through the different leadership roles, and there are engineering associations, and then you have the Arts College Association. Plus, you also have the common forums on which there are leaders now elected. I think it is not by default, but you really wanted to be there, and I think the procedure was that, or the process was that you had to go through many situations and to prove yourself to be there. But I think it's more than proving that you wanted to be there. So that is the more important part of it. And while looking at this particular, leadership that you have, I found a very, very unique part, what is ethics and value, which is very unique. I think, out of all the leadership, you have engineering, civil engineering, mechanical engineering, and then, arts program and all that. But I have not seen a student leadership in ethics and values. And I consider that's the most important. And I really appreciate the thought leadership behind this to actually bring in this particular portfolio of ethics and values. Being ethical and adding value to what you do is very important. There are many definitions for that. But I have considered and I have experienced by myself is that 3 of the things which I would like to tell you is the being honest and integrity and being transparent. This is what is more important. It's a conscious living, what you call ethics and values. So by that, you have to have a signal, what is called a positive signal to other people. And you will be not only interacting with the other leaders, but also you will be with the community to demonstrate yourself. And while you do that, you should have that kind of a positive attitude and try to see how ethical and demonstrate yourself how ethical you are. Now, when we say the ethics and values, there are kind of a lot of guidelines which are available, but that remains as a guideline. But when you have a situation, look around yourself, what is actually happening, and then try to take a conscious decision on that with the help of the guideline is very important. And I think I just wanted to pick only this part while I do felicitation, because for me, it's very vibrant to see that this institution has constituted that kind of a leadership, and that means they have a purpose behind it. So I think you as youngsters should take the fullest of the advantage of this thought leadership behind this, and I think you need to practice this. And I wish you all the very best, and I think for the days to come and the years to come, you will perform very well in this particular role and demonstrate the ethical and conscious values for the leadership that you have. I wish you all the best, and have a good day. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Moving on with the felicitation, Dr. Saravanan D, Principal of KCT, has 9 years of industrial experience and 20 years of experience in various leadership positions in academics. I now invite him to felicitate the gathering.
Respected dignitaries on the dais and off the dais, good morning to one and all. So LC Investiture ceremony. It's a beautiful moment for all of us. For the students, it is a recognition for your efforts. For faculty members, it is a time for us to expect new ideas, new thoughts, new processes, and develop new systems for the growth of Kumaraguru College of Technology. Understanding the need for growing and utilizing the potential of the students, Kumaraguru has readily come out with this beautiful idea maybe sometimes back, and which is growing year after year. And in KCT alone, I understand this year we have 30 leaders, adding many more or few things every year, cater to the requirements of the students or utilizing the potential of the students in a better way. CLED is coming out with new ideas, and which is rightly approved by the management for the benefit of the students. But this year the difference is the time. I think you have completed one semester and you are left out with only one more semester within which you have to prove your or showcase your potential. This is something like T20, I would say. T20 versus test match. Or even if you see the science concepts, it is something like high-speed testing versus time-dependent testing. In both the cases, we will come to know the real potential of the matters or the people who are involved in the process. I think T20 gave beautiful players to the country, and high-speed testing gives us development of, or facilitates development of new materials for new processes and new systems. And in similar way, I feel your ideas, your thoughts will pave the way for future growth of Kumaraguru College of Technology. And I expect all the leaders to be faster, better, and smarter. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Dr. Vigila Edwin Kennedy is a leading educationalist in the field of management. She led KCT Business School as a director between 2011 to 2017. And as principal of class, she drives growth through her vision, innovations, and invigorating culture. I now invite her to felicitate the gathering.
Good morning, and I congratulate all the 46 LC members for this year. I congratulate the members from class and from KCT. You have shown inspiration, that's why you're sitting here, because you have done something in the past, and during the selection process, they found that you were inspirational. You went through the selection process. I know Nivedan was telling it's a 5-stage process, and I know that it was a difficult one, but you survived through it, and you showed us that you have the inspiration. Leadership is one about personal inspiration, but also how do you inspire others? Because as you step into your role, you'll realize that you will not be able to do things on your own, but you need to have an inspired band around you. And that's the most difficult task. Because I think success of any leader depends on how we are able to inspire the people around us and take them to a level which is even above you. And inspiring others can be extremely challenging because you don't have anything in your control. You may not be able to give them positions, you may not be able to recognize them, you may not be able to give them a promotion, you may not be able to give them a new job. You work under a certain boundaries. But still, if you need to inspire, I think there are 2 things that I would like to place before you. As a leader, being a role model is very important when you want to perform. Role model does not mean somebody who's far off, who's done something, but role model who is somebody who's around and who's made an impact. I was teaching a course in commerce, and we touched on leadership, and we did a small exercise, a poster, on who was the person who inspired you the most. Out of 60 students, there were 2 students who gave names from outside, but others were all mothers, fathers, uncles, friends, grandmothers, grandfathers. So role modeling comes from people who are near you. And will you be a role model? When we say role model, it is not sitting in a higher position and telling people that this is what it should be done, but putting yourself in the other person's shoes and saying, hey, this is what is to be done, and inspire the other person. I just want to say a quick example. I've seen JC, I walked with him, especially in the business school when I was there in my earlier role. He sees something on the ground, he will definitely pick up a wrapper, a paper, which is there. So it is not the position, but it is what he wants to do as a role model. I'm sure many students have seen this, at least in the business school, because he used to come there often. So I think that is a very inspirational act. It may be a very small act. I don't even know whether he would have realized it, but today if I'm talking about it after 10 years, it is that role modeling. Role modeling not from a position, from role modeling to a student or to a faculty who will be walking in the corridor to say, what should you do? So tomorrow when you step up into your roles, be that role model to a team, to a band who's around you in their positions. So it's not sitting in a chair and telling them because you have a position. The second one, with role modeling, goes the humility. There should be confidence, but there should be humility. We call this as a leadership council. Why do we say that? because there is a council, there is a group, and we derive that learning and that energy from each other. The humility to listen to others, the humility to learn from others, humility to say, I don't know when we don't know. And people respect us not for what we do or for our position, but who we are. So tomorrow when you go out and when you actually start, I'm sure for the past 6 months you've been doing it, but officially when you start doing it, remember that you are being looked upon as a person who will be able to inspire others. So be inspired, be an inspiration to others. Every day ask a question, who will I inspire today so that you become a better leader? That should be a question every day morning. I wish each one of you all the very best. My congratulations to the parents and the grandparents, because you have been the role models, just as I talked. You have inspired them. So it's a very proud moment for you when your children take up leadership roles. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
மிகவும் உயர்ந்த சிந்தனை திறன் கொண்டவர், செயல்பாட்டு திறமை மிக்கவர், நட்புடன் கூடிய அணுகுமுறை கொண்டவர்.
Leadership is the ability to guide others without force into a direction or decision that leaves them still feeling empowered and accomplished. Sri Shankar Vanavarayar is a next generation leader keenly working in the areas of education, social impact, entrepreneurship, and culture. He works with the youth of India with a vision to empower them towards building a greater nation. I now invite our leader par excellence, Sri Shankar Vanavarayar, President of Kumaraguru Institutions, to deliver the presidential address.
Good morning to you all. I join others in greeting you and welcoming you to this serious, important, and eventful day. Before I get into the importance of the day and the significance of your roles, I think we have a leadership lesson in front of us today as a nation. Many of you are young, to all the students, and today you must remember that you have an example that unfolded yesterday not too far from us. Friends, leadership is an extraordinary idea and an ideal. It is an idea because that is what many aspire, and it's an ideal because some live by it and we look at them as examples. I think the nation for the next few days and weeks will seek answers through inquiry committees and many other things. But today is a day that we have to remember the one person who is still recouping or being treated, and the many others who have passed away. Naturally, our thoughts and our minds are completely connected and becoming aware of a great leader. One of the most important, decorated, powerful men of this country. I think what we have to understand is, historically, this is the first time our great nation has had a CDS, a Trice Services Chief, which has been an ideal for many years in this country. And what a decorated officer, a proud man, and a proud father he must have been to have been decorated with this position. I think we have to remember this great Indian leader for the work, and I would, while we pay our respects to him and his wife, I think what is very important is for us to read about him, where he came from in Uttarakhand, where he studied, where he got his degrees, where he got his PhD from, where he served around the world, what he did for the country in its borders, and the many things. And what is also very important as an educational institution, he was leading India's pioneering effort to indigenize many of the technologies to make sure that a lot of it is developed, researched, and produced in India. He was also doing this extraordinary work in trying to bring India together in what they say as a theater command, or as they would call how these three services should work together in times of need. While we remember this great Indian couple, I think we also should remember the others who have lost their lives. Brigadier L.S. Lida, Lieutenant Colonel Harjinder Singh, Lance Nayak Gursewak Singh, Lance Nayak Jitender Singh, Lance Nayak Vivek Kumar, Lance Nayak Sai Teja, Havildar Satyapal. These are all great Indian men who we should remember for their lives lost, sadly, to a tragic accident. And what is the great thing or an inspiration while talking about officers, decorated officers, soldiers who lose their life for this nation? There are accidents that happen across the country. There are deaths that happen across board. But we have to remember they are working for the country, for us, for our safety and security. All of us, friends, will, and this is a good day, and sadly, there is a loom over our heads, in our minds. But all of us live for something because we want to live and achieve something before we go away, because all of us will go away one day. What is special is the fact that we have to remember what some people go away for and how we can be inspired out of them. Not all of us will wish or can work or be decorated people like that, but certainly in our lives, this is a very important aspect that we have to remember. I think it's important for us to think and pray for those families, for those young children, for the relatives, and many others who were dependent on them. As I said, today is an important start, a very important start, a very special aspect for this institution. I say this as a very special aspect because in the name of Kumaraguru, I don't know how many of you know the meaning of the name Kumaraguru. In a mythological, in a philosophical sense, this is where the son who was a god taught father who was a god. And this is an institution where we are wanting, willing, and eager to work together, to listen from young people, to work along with young people, because we are very certain that while we have the experience, the acumen, and the wisdom to do some things, I think we have to collaborate to do many other things very well. Because stakeholder involvement, like in the corporate parlance, they would say, listen to your customer. Certainly our students, our parents are not our customers, but our partners and stakeholders. We will have to listen to them for a better ecosystem, for better vision, for better action, for better operation, and certainly a better environment. Dr. Joseph spoke about the fact that this is something that is special in this institution. But I want to say that our founder, my grandfather, would always say, my achievements are just because I had good lieutenants. I might have had the vision, but you need an army and an action to actually make a lot of things happen, because one person in one life cannot do so much. I think as an institution, the Kumaraguru institutions also realizes that our aspirations are enormous, and hence we need an army. We don't need a team, but we need an army. And those young men and women are that army which will make the transformative change. Nivedan spoke about the Leadership Council, that it's been 5 years, and fantastic young men and women have passed out doing amazing things. This is not just a volunteer body. This is not just a representative body. This is not just a force that will do things on the ground. We wanted the Leadership Council to be a thought council, to be a thought leadership council, which will give us ideas, to bring to our notice things that we can do, should do, progressive things, while we will handle operational things too. It is very important, all of you remember, that this is not a uniform, this is not a position, this is not a wonderful picture in college life, this is not an award, and this is certainly not something that gives you a designation. This is an opportunity. To all of you who are sitting right in front of me, I'm not sure because of your marks, eager, excited, anxious, or whatever mood that is, I just want to tell you, once you're called a leader, just use it. Just live it. Because you don't know when, again, in how many days or months or years, you will get into that position. I think the road is clear. The principal said it's going to be a T20 match, but you are a T20 generation. He certainly came from a test match generation. I am a mid generation, but you are the 2020 generation, which means that you know how to play short games. You know how to play full and fast. You have to play that now. If you're an audience and a spectator, you will continue watching tweets, news, shares, and keep reading what others did. If you use this opportunity, you will also add to this history in this institution, because thousands, over 30,000 students have passed out of this institution, and there have been limitless leaders. Maybe we didn't call many of them leaders, but limitless leaders today and tomorrow. This is a lab and a functioning lab, so start your experiments now, start your research now. But this research and experiment should be by doing, and sometimes in leadership, perfection is an essential ingredient, but don't be lost in perfection. Excellence is something that we should seek, but trial and doing is equally important. I'm not asking you to be aggressive, but I'm certainly asking you to be ambitious. I think it's very important to say that in the 6 to 8 months I was there, I tried doing this, I changed this, I introduced this, I spoke about this, I inspired so many people. I think that is very important. For me, another important aspect that has always inspired me is the idea of servant leadership. When you speak about the word leadership, normally what comes to your mind? A position, an important spot, a great attire, people looking at you, and everybody else under you or lesser you. And if you want to imagine further, then you have a BGM in your mind of a certain music, a car with a light, and a lot of people following you, and you are the most powerful, which is true, which is sometimes the feeling that we get about leadership. But think of all the great leaders. They have been servants to their purpose. They have been servants to the people who they serve. They have been servants to their great good habits and their inspiration. Servant is not a bad word. And certainly you should remember, with humility, as Dr. Vijala spoke about, is the importance to remember a leader is an opportunity to perform and to become a transformer, and not somebody who leads and looks back once in a way. I think it's important to be inspired by nature. Look at the so many, while we keep looking at the lion for an inspiration for a leader, but let's not forget that there is a forest that works along. To the 200 plus students who had applied, and maybe some of you are here, nobody gets chosen or nobody gets rejected. A certain place and a certain position and a certain person comes together for a certain need. Rest of you will be needed along with the Leadership Council selected this year to perform and make extraordinary things. To the few other 100 students who are sitting behind, who are representatives, who are part of other forums, clubs, and other bodies of the student in this institution, I want to tell you that this is an opportunity that you have to start thinking, when me, what next? You can't be the audience. If you're an audience in a country of 1 billion people, with the biggest population of young people, you will always be 10th in line or 20th in line. You can form another line. The startups in this country have shown us that you don't have to take the same path. You can form something, you can make a path, and you can make a change. I want you to remember that you are all people in waiting, and find your leadership journey, which is very important. To the parents who are here, thank you so much for coming here. I think it's very important to the families to come, because we are as proud as you are, because you have molded them as young leaders and given them to us. Then we are celebrating their capacity. I think it's very important that we remember, along with our heads of departments and our faculty who are here, we know that a lot of this molding happened at home, and we are just using the best of them here. So thank you so much for being here, and I think it's special for them and for us that you're all here. To all of you young leaders, I want to tell you that even though this is a fresh start, this is a new game. No game is never a fresh start. I want to tell you that the last 5 years of KCT and the last few years of class, I want you to learn. I want you to call them, connect with them, because they are in great jobs, great universities, great businesses, or doing wonderful work wherever they are. Connect with them, because this is a tribe, this is a community that you should know. The past will give you a lot of experiences. A leader, again, while we think it's the person and the position, maybe where I'm standing, because some of you are listening and I'm standing, maybe I have a leadership in me. But a leader, I think, is a person with a mind and a mindset. It is a set of qualities where you know that you can make transformative changes and through which you learn even more. Because leadership is a learning opportunity, not just a doing opportunity. Because your life is long and you will have to learn wonderful experiences in that aspect. I want to finish by saying a few things. Being a leader can be lonely. Being a leader sometimes can be not fair, certainly to you sometimes, but not to your friends and your family, because you might not have time. To be a leader, sometimes mental health takes second stage, and certainly physical health takes second stage. I want to tell you that a balance of this is extremely important, because a leader is somebody who wakes up fresh, not who sleeps very late, very tired. You have to remember a leader is somebody who is fantastic not when dressed up and posing for a picture. A leader is somebody who is fantastic even when somebody quietly observes them, for which you need mental health and physical health, which is very important. A leader has to be somebody who takes decisions. You have to be friendly to everybody, but being popular is not the most important things. To do the right thing is very important, for which you have to be resilient. You have to be confident. You have to have a clear heart and mind. Mistakes are okay. At your age, mistakes are important to learn from. But decision making is going to be very important, for which a method in your mind has to be built so that you can have an ecosystem of decision making. To be creative and enthusiastic is extremely important. You can't become boring. You can't become stereotype. You have to become extremely creative so that everything that you do is different and interesting. Lastly, friends, you have to be an inspiration and a change agent. Inspiration because when you look at yourself in the mirror, every time we can't keep looking at President Kalam or Mahatma Gandhi or the so many inspirational figures and say, hey, that's how I have to be. No, sometimes you have to look at yourself every morning and you have to be inspired. And you have to be inspirational for that, because remember, there are many, many juniors who are looking at you. And certainly many of you told me that why are you doing this? Because you said in first year, I saw this Anna, I saw this Akka, and I wanted to become somebody like them. So I want to wish you for that, to be inspirational, to be creative, to be resilient, to be happy, to be healthy, and to always be a positive person. I personally have enjoyed working with so many young people in this institution. I once again look forward for a great opportunity for that transformative experience where so many of your ideas, so much of your vision, involvement and passion will come our way. We should feel the pressure. We should feel your involvement. We should feel your passion. And together, we certainly will make the lives of 7,000 of us in this campus better as much as we can. So once again, best wishes into this wonderful journey. And I'm sure it's going to be a fast-paced game, as was said before. Start playing today, never rest, as long as you can certainly be self-satisfied with what you achieve. Best wishes and thank you.
Thank you, sir.
ஊழி பெயரிடும் தாம் பெயரார் சான்றாண்மைக்கு ஆழி எனப்படுவர் என்பது வள்ளுவ பெருந்தகையின் வாக்கு. சான்றோர்கள் சான்றாண்மை என்பதற்கு வள்ளுவர் இலக்கணம் வகுத்துள்ளார். இன்று நம் மாணவர்கள் தலைமை பொறுப்பு ஏற்க தயாராக இருக்கின்றனர். சான்றாண்மையின் முதல் அடையாளமாக தங்களுக்கான கடமையை சிரமேற்றுக் கொண்டு நடத்துவதற்கு மாணவர்களை அன்புடன் அழைக்கிறோம்.
Sitting on the edge of their seats, eagerly awaiting the moment where the incumbents will now march with pride and with shoulders held high to receive the insignia symbolizing the responsibility and expectation pinned on their chest, following which the charter will be signed by the newly elected Leadership Council members. The investiture will be first for the student leaders of KCT, followed by the student leaders of class. Now, I invite the student leaders of KCT to occupy the dais. Student leaders of KCT, please take your seats. To officially begin the Investiture, we have Mr. Pavan, the President of Aeronautical Engineering, who will be felicitated by Dr. Sundaraj K., HOD of Aeronautical Department. His areas of interest include entrepreneurship, startup, drone development, food industry, society, social and safety industry. The previous roles held in clubs and forums include President of Aeronautical Engineering Department from 2021 to 2022, Alumni and Placement Coordinator of the Aeronautical Engineering Department from 2020 to 2021 in KCT. He was also the Joint Secretary of the Aeronautical Engineering Department from 2019 to 2020 in KCT. He was also a member of Team Evoke Dance Club, the Treasurer of Team Evoke from 2021 to 2022 in KCT. His achievements include International Champion in Karate, Dance State Medal Finalist, and Badminton District Medalist. His hobbies include dance, music, badminton, traveling and food, short films, and watching movies. His short-term goals include to get admitted to Warwick University for MIM, to get his startup idea plans on track after his studies, learn and teach people about the importance of investing in the share market, and the ultimate aim is to teach people the importance of passive income. His long-term goals include to start a startup in India and develop into a worldwide provider, to have an orphanage, hospital and NGO to support children and all the elderly in all the ways possible, and to start a badminton academy and dance floor to give proper guidance to enthusiasts. Next, we have Harish Balaji, President of Automobile Department, who will be felicitated by Dr. Sivakumar S., HOD of Automobile Engineering. An interactive, positive person, punctual, adaptable to the environment, and ambitious. His interests include team building, coordinating events, technical research, networking, documentation, design, and manufacturing of automobile parts. He held roles such as the previous placement coordinator, documentation, and he was also the member of football club. His hobbies include listening to music, playing football, watching documentary films, drawing, and sketching. His goals include he wants to settle down in new work environment as quickly as he can, and his long-term goal is to become a successful entrepreneur and have a peaceful life. Up next, we have Ms. Kumpave, the President of Biotechnology, who will be felicitated by Dr. Bhaskar, HOD of Biotechnology. A proactive, optimist, and an adaptable student, she takes her interest in the areas of drug formulation and pharma. She held the positions as Technical Ambassador in her DA from 2020 to 2021, Higher Studies and Comparative Examination Coordinator, TA 2019 to 2020. She was also the Student Research Associate, TRADE, and a member of Team Evoke, Surat. She was a Mahatma Gandhi Scholarship Awardee in the years 2019 and 2020. Her hobbies include dancing, composing Tamil poetry, doing podcasts. Up next, we have Ms. Harita Raj, President, Department of Civil Department. She will be felicitated by Dr. Selvin, HOD of Civil Department. A strong, ambitious, and a perfectionist, she takes her interest in leadership, psychology, and project management. She has completed 3 grades with distinction in electronic keyboard with Trinity College of London certification, a Lions Club winner in Tamil poetry for 2 consecutive years. Her hobbies include reading books, traveling. Up next, we have Ms. Neena Darshan. Up next, we have Ms. Reena Darshan, who will be felicitated by Dr. Devaki, HOD of CSE Department. She is the President of Computer Science and Engineering, a compassionate, diligent, and thoughtful person. She takes her interest in analytics, leadership and management, and poetry. She held the positions in the Department Association of the Department as an executive member, overall legal coordinator, joint secretary, and secretary. She was also a member of the as an executive member, strategic resource management, co-lead of strategic resource management. And she also was a member of Board as the director of professional services. She has won the Best Department Association Award, the Best Foreign Audit Award, National Level Grant of Education and Law, Data Protection Practices. Next, we have Civil Negotiators, who will be felicitated by Dr. Anil Kumar, HOD of ENA. The President of Electronics and Instrumentation, an ambitious, amicable, cheerful, and optimistic person. He takes interest in automation, embedded systems, psychology, analytics, leadership, and networking. He held roles such as PT coordinator in his department association, secretary, and overall unit coordinator. In electrical and control engineering, he joined the KCIRI during the years 2020 and 2021. He wants to run individual podcasts on various platforms. Up next, we have Ms. Shakti, who will be illustrated by Dr. Pasupati, HOD of EC. She is the president of EC department, a calm, ambitious, diligent, and versatile person. She was a member of that department, a secretary of the She volunteered as the marshal for Ignite 2020 and a captain for Enlight 2021. A Mahatma Gandhi Scholarship awardee during the year 2019, the part of throwball team as winners, runners at 2019 Seagull 2020. Up next, we have Diksha. She is the president of Electronics and Electrical and Electronics Engineering. She takes her interest in research and physics, inter-school dance competitions. Next, we have Mr. Srijit Ravichandran, who will be felicitated by Dr. Vail Murugan, HOD of the Mechanical Department. The President of Mechanical Department, a focused, determined, and a persevering individual who takes his interest in aerospace design, editing photography, editing, CGI, and visual effects. He has held positions in SEDS as the Director of PRO and Media, founder of Genesis as a part of SEDS rover team, a coordinator in the Mechanical Engineering Association, a part of Super 60. His hobbies include reading books, cricket and football, editing 3D environment, designing for CGI, etc. Next, we have Mr. Samvasan, who will be felicitated by Dr. Saravana Mohan, HOD of Mechatronics Department. A curious, empathetic, and a dynamic individual who takes his interest in robotics and management. His hobbies include listening to music, singing, coding, and photography. His short-term goals include to learn more about robotics by practical experience, like doing internships for free freelancing jobs. His long-term goals include to start a robotics company and serve for the nation. He was a secretary of the Mechatronics Department Association during the year 2020-2021 and a software domain team lead, Robotics and Automation Club during the year 2020 and 2021. Next, we have Ms. Shruti, who will be felicitated by Dr. Mary Cherian, the HOD of the MBA department. An ambitious, compassionate, and a courteous person who takes her interest in reading and art. She was the student ambassador of KCD Business School Admission 2021, coordinated Swagatam and Flip Crew Lead. She won various prizes, which include the district level prize in mono acting, the district level prize in Tamil speech. Her hobbies include reading novels, and her goals include to place herself in a good organization where she can develop her skills and test her potential, and to be a better person for working to develop the society in terms of education, values, and a higher position of organization. Next, we have Anush Gopi, who will be felicitated by Dr. Manikandan, the HOD of Masters of Computer Application. A perfectionist, versatile, and an adventurous individual. Served as the student people leader in his school. Served as a captain of Silambal in his UG college, and served as a village adoption program captain in his UG. He won the 3rd place state level quiz competition conducted by Tamil Nadu Tourism Department. His hobbies include bike riding, photography, reading books, watching movies, and playing the piano. His goal is to be unique and learn all new things, and to be a responsible person in his life, and to be a role model to others. Next, we have Kavi Kumar, who will be felicitated by Dr. Ramesh Babu, HOD of Textile Industry. His interest is in business, in particular the weaving industry. An adaptable, constructive, and a practical person who held positions in his department associations such as the technical ambassador during his 2nd year and a joint treasurer in his 3rd year. His achievements include Textilator Quiz runner-up National Symposium conducted by Banari Amman of Technology 2020, third National Level Symposium conducted by Sona College of Technology, 2nd place in the Texposium conducted in the SSM College of Technology. Next, we have Mr. Prashant, who will be felicitated by Dr. Saravanan, the principal of KCT. He is the president of Academics Innovation, a passionate, intelligent, and a versatile individual who takes his interest in technical related stuff and creating innovative ideas and solutions. He secured 1st place in Think Extreme Ideathon on Health and Fitness organized by Agam Forum of Kumaraguru Institution, and secured the 1st place in technical paper presentation organized by IEEE Computer Society, IQAC, Institutions Innovation Council. His hobbies include exploring and utilizing new technologies and gadgets, and to motivate and guide juniors. His long-term goals include to start a new company of his own. Next, we have Mr. Rakesh, who will be felicitated by Professor Vasantraj, the director of KCIRI. He is the president of Academics Design, a vivacious, persistent, and a sanguine person who takes his interest in product design and manufacturing, CAD/CAM engineering design, additive manufacturing, and he takes his interest in robotics in mechatronics system. He has won national level tech and innovation flair held at Shastra 2021, IIT Madras 3rd prize, an international level prize at VISAI 2021, a 2nd prize in national level open innovation challenge held at Velo Technology. His hobbies include listening to music, traveling, reading books, gaming, bodybuilding, cycling, cricket, and badminton. To build a company which innovates viable products to overcome global problems like climate change in a more sustainable way, he says, is his goal. Another one of his goals is to get more industrial experience and to build a startup and to learn more about creating a legacy. Next up, we have Ms. Raksha, who is the President of Learning and Development, who will be felicitated by Dr. Joseph Tanikal, who is the Director of KCT. A fashion education management enthusiast, she achieved a diploma in graphic design certified by Aurita Sinclair. She has a diploma in fashion styling certified by the London School of Trends, 2 papers in TechCon conference, and a runners-up in the fashion illustration competition held at Dr. MGR College. Her hobbies include reading books, digital illustration, watching series and movies, and working out. Her goal is to build her skill that will help her long-term goals and to mold herself to be the best version of herself mentally and physically. Up next, we have Mr. Mukundan, who will be felicitated by Dr. Vigilesh, Assistant Dean, Office of Student Affairs. He is the President of Fine and Performing Arts, an ambitious, passionate, and adventurous individual who won first place in Mono Act during the Draha 2020, first place in Kalakal Galata in Yugam 2020, first place in Mime during Draha 2018, first place in Larsen & Toubro Infotech, Cognizant, and Accenture. His hobbies include diving and doing reels. His goal is to implement his action plans very well and to be more passionate about it. He also has a goal to start a fine and performing arts community which is to be accessible for every individual in the state. Up next, we have Mr. Prakash Ganeshan, who will be felicitated by Dr. Meera, Assistant Vice President, Forge Accelerator. He is the President of Entrepreneurship, a versatile, adaptable, and understanding individual who takes his interest in industrial automation, robotics, business, astronomy, and oration. He was the winner of Open Innovation Challenge by WellTech and TBI. He secured second place in VISAI 2021, third place in Tech and Innovation Fair held by IIT Madras. His hobbies include making electronic projects, creating YouTube videos, blogging, badminton, football, watching F1. Next, we have Ms. Dikshana, who is the President of Ethics and Values, who will be felicitated by Sri Shankar Vanavaraya, the President of KCT. A tolerant, optimist, and a versatile individual who takes her interest in IoT and RF domain. She won a certificate on DST in TI India Innovation Challenge. Her hobbies include writing, gardening, painting, and traveling. Her goal is to explore something new every day and to double her productivity level. To set up an organization to help and support people who are suffering from illness and other disabilities, she says, which she puts as her long-term goal. Up next, we have Mr. Balakumar, who is the President of Fitness and Health. He will be felicitated by Dr. Vigilesh, Assistant Dean, Office of Student Affairs. He takes his interest in fitness and healthy lifestyle, traveling, problem solving, web development, and a social activist. An empathetic change maker, diligent, and a solutionist, he secured first place in Open National Athletic Games held in Uttar Pradesh, Mahatma Gandhi Scholarship Awardee for 2 consecutive years during the years 2018 and 2019. He conducted physical fitness test programs for more than 70 KCT students. His hobbies include working out, cooking, and traveling. Enhancing Kumaraguru fitness community in Coimbatore is his goal. Next, we have Mr. Vinu Varshit, the President of the Literature Vertical, who will be felicitated by Mr. Jeeva Kalyanasundaram, the Administrative Officer of KCT. A diligent, dynamic, and a flexible individual who takes his interest in molecular biology, journalism, quizzing, and sports. He was a finalist in national level Manipal University Hackathon and has won various district and division level quiz. His hobbies include reading, listening to songs, and football. Finish the current ongoing project and join masters to kickstart the new phase of his career is his goal, he says. Next, we have Mr. Nishank, the President of National Organizations. He will be felicitated by Commodore Rajiv Chaudhary, the Head of Facilities and Management Operation. A fierce, proud, and a strategic individual, he takes his interest in defense technologies, strategic studies, geopolitics, design, renewable energy, future mobility, and drones. He was selected for an international course on India's military strategy, its crafting and implementation. To have a startup in the defense and aerospace sector is his goal, he says. And his long-term goal is to make India one of the largest weapon suppliers in the world. Next, we have Ms. Monishri, who is the president of the social vertical. She will be felicitated by Dr. M. Eleanor C., the Associate Dean, Academic Affairs and Compliance, KCT, an inquisitive, explorer, and a sociable person. She takes her interest in VLSI as a profession, social works, and helping others. She was a Mahatma Gandhi Scholarship Awardee during the year 2020, filed two patents in the Indian Patent Office Government of India, selected for 2 rounds in the Viswarkama Awards 2019 for the project Seed to Sale project. Secured a participation certificate on DST and Texas Instruments India Innovation. Up next, we have Mr. Mukesh Kumar, the President of Sports Men, who will be felicitated by Sri Shankar Vanavraya, the Joint Correspondent, the President of KCT. He takes his interest in sports, automation, photo, and painting. A courageous, optimistic, persistent, versatile, and a jovial person. He won district-level bronze medal and 2 state-level medals at boxing, silver medalist in state rural games in boxing. His goal is to bring a powerful impact in the sports vertical of KCT. I must not be an ordinary engineer, but I should become someone who is contributing to the society and be a role model to youngsters, he says. Last but not the least, we have Ms. Abhirami, who is the President of Sports Women, who will be felicitated by Dr. Vasuki, the Controller of Examinations. A free-spirited, curious, and perceptive, she was selected in the Anna University Kabaddi team during the year 2018-2019. She was the winner of Tamil Nadu Junior Women's Tournament 2018, a winner of Tamil Nadu CBSE Kabaddi Tournament, and a captain of Tamil Nadu Kabaddi team at the CBSE National Tournament for 2 years. To pursue MBA from a reputed institution is her goal. Leaders instill in their people a hope for success and a belief in themselves. I now invite Ms. Diksha Mohan, the President of AAA Department, to deliver her acceptance speech.
Good morning to everybody who is present here and virtually on this great and responsible occasion. I feel elated to see and celebrate all my fellow change makers along with our support systems, our head of the departments, our professors, parents, our joint correspondent Sri Shankar Vanavraya sir, our friends, family, and the entire KCT management. Today, it is a start, and I would say it is a reminder indeed about the powerful responsibility that we have all got for ourselves to create, to change things, and to work together to make a better KCT, a better society, and hence a better world. Being a bridge between the management and the students, I think we have to work with utmost care, passion, and with a heart to make positive and powerful impacts. Today, I see a lot of people have joined with us today. Parents, head of departments, friends, families, relations, all of us looking at us with utmost trust and pride. So we have to make sure that we keep up to them with our ideas, through our decisions, and through our actions as a leader. Because even in the midst of a world pandemic, we, the students, the management, and especially our parents, supported each other, guided each other, and we made it through. So actually, I would like to request all the parents of the LC members here to raise for a moment. So the parents of all the LC members, Oru Nimisham, we would like to raise for a moment. We should give them a very big round of applause, because without the support and guidance of all these ammas and appas here, it wouldn't have been possible for all of us to make this. So thank you all the parents who have joined us today, and also those who are watching it virtually for all your support and guidance. Thank you. And also, we must remember the path that our predecessors led. They have been our inspiration, and we must make sure that we follow their steps, and we have to take the initiative, we have to lead, and to strengthen our student community. So representing all the LC members from the KCT, I wish, and I think I wish everyone a very hearty congratulations, and we must strive hard to work together, to learn together, to have fun, and most importantly, aim to reach a higher potential for the highest good of this society and as an institution. Thank you.
Sanjay, President of Academic Research, and Sujit, President, PG. Sujit was not able to join us today because of his research internship in Montreal, Canada, and Sanjay will not be joining us today due to personal reasons. An overview of Sujit. A complex and a passionate person, he strikes by the quote, "No matter how you feel, get up, dress up, and show up." He is interested in story writing, fitness, and sport. He was the Joint Secretary in the Civil Department Association from 2017 to 2018, and his goal is to finish his academics on a high note, and his long-term goal is to follow his passion. About Sanjay, an ambitious and intuitive person. The quote he strives by is, "Do not let the noise of others' opinion drown out your inner voice." His areas of interest include project management, human resource, and social service. He was the co-lead in project management of RAY, and his achievements include a black belt holder in karate. His hobbies include analyzing the stock market and working out. His goal is to work as a project manager in a research and development lab. Sujit and Sanjay will be joining us virtually to give their acceptance.
Hello everyone, this is Sanjay from the Department of Textile Technology, and I have been chosen as the President of the Research Vertical. I apologize for not being able to attend the ceremony in person due to a personal reason, and I would like to convey my wishes to all my peers who are there today taking up their roles. And I feel happy to express my gratitude for providing me with this opportunity. I promise that I will do my best to my vertical, institution, and its students. Once again, best wishes.
Hi, I'm Zindhi Krishna. I'm doing my PG Structural Engineering in KCT. I've also done my UG degree in KCT, so this is my 6th year in KCT. I would like to get this opportunity of becoming the LC of this year, academic year. So I'll be representing my PG forum, so this is my vertical, and it is a great opportunity which I would like to accept for working in for a PG forum. So what I'm looking forward is to work with the people, like-minded people in the PG forum, and also the LC tribe. So it's a great opportunity for me. And leadership is nothing but, it's a simple term for me. Leadership is nothing but leading one's own life. So looking forward to all the people I would like to meet in this academic year, and I would love to work with you all. Thank you. Thank you.
Excellence is the result of high intention, sincere effort, intelligent direction, skillful execution, and the vision to see obstacles as opportunities. Mr. Nishank, the President of National Organization KCT, will now deliver the pledge along with his fellow council members. I request the student leaders of KCT to please rise up.
I request all presidents to raise their right hand and place it on their left chest. We, the Leadership Council, pledge to serve our institution with pride and loyalty. We acknowledge that leadership is not a path to privilege, but a responsibility to progress. inspired by the founder's vision, and aligning with the institution's aspirations, our involvement will aid KCT in development and enable students to attain their true potential. We as the Leadership Council will discuss, deliberate, and suggest policy reforms and will stand by continuous advancement in academic excellence and holistic well-being. We will treat everyone with respect and dignity and establish a culture that is open, truthful, and committed to excellence. We will strive to ensure that every aspiration and mission of every KCT student is represented. We will have a work ethic that will result in institutional enhancement and our own commitments to our stakeholders without compromises. We are united by a common goal to impact the society, engineer a better nation, and strive for a better world. Congratulations, Presidents.
Now we request newly anointed student leaders of KCT to take off stage and the class students leaders to occupy the dais for the investiture. Now, the class student leaders to occupy the dais is for the investiture.
To begin the investiture of the student leaders from class, we have Miss Smriti, the president of BBA, who will be felicitated by Dr. Dayal Rajan, the head of academic operations. An enthusiastic, determined, intriguing, and a sociable person, the quote she identifies by is, "Strive not to be success, but to be of value." Her areas of interest include creative writing and reading. She held roles such as the secretary of the BBA department, the co-lead of Sprout, setting up of the library co-lead, marketing executive in Evolve for 6 months. She has contributed to a short story anthology, Hope. She has also contributed to another poetry anthology, Love Ends. She was the runner-up during the IBM Skills Build. She is also certified for consistent volunteering by Girl Up Fembots, United Nations organization. She has trained experience in classical dance and Bharatanatyam for over 7 years. Next, we have Ms. Tejaswini, who is the president of BCom. She will be felicitated by Dr. N. Sumati, head HOD of Commerce Department, a decisive, innovative, and a proactive individual. The quote she identifies herself with is, "We are limited not by our abilities, but by our visions." She was the lead associate of Sprout, lead Human Resource and Compliance, and Career Empowerment and Entrepreneurship Development Center lead Strategy and Innovation from 2020 to present date. She was the chair, Finance and Innovation in Yuva, a student coordinator in Project Germinate. Her goal is to become a company secretary and get into one of the big four. Next, we have Mr. Siddharth, the president of Bachelors of Commerce, Professional Accounting. He will be felicitated by Dr. N. Sridevi, Associate Professor, Department of Commerce. The quote he identifies himself with is, "Failure is not the opposite of success. Instead, it's the stepping stone." A smart worker, realistic, and an adaptable person, he takes his interest in management, finance, and leadership. He was the topper in SWAYAM course on managerial economics, a top 10 finish in national level account talent exam, has completed CA intermediate, and was a Kabaddi state level and a badminton district level winner. Next, we have Ms. Ashira A., who will be felicitated by Dr. R. Radhika, the HOD of English Literature Department. She is the president of the Department of English Literature, a responsible adapter and an enthusiast individual who believes everything happens for a reason. She was the vice president of Evolve, the Ignite captain during the years 2020 and 2021, the Creative Writing Club as captain, K-Leap captain, and a member of Tamil Mandram. She was a class representative in 10th grade, a holder of Proficiency Award, and a first place in zonal level chess competition. Up next, we have Ms. Sneha, who will be felicitated by Mr. Anant Rao, the Dean of Class. She was the president of the Mathematics Department, and she believes to be the best version of yourself. Her interests include mandala art and mathematics. She was the board member of Evolve and a student coordinator of Future Center. Her goal is to become an MBA, to pursue an MBA, and to become a business analyst. Up next, we have Mr. Saran, who is the president of the Political Science Department, who will be felicitated by Dr. S. Makalban, who is the HOD of Political Science Department. An empathetic, inquisitive, and an optimistic individual, he believes in the quote, "Miles to go before I sleep. All is well. The law of life is the law of belief." His interests include politics, philosophy, sports, public speaking, and cricket analysis. He was a representative and coordinator from class of Cubate from Kumaraguru from the years 2019 to 2020, the event lead Surf Excel Yugam 2020 to 2021, the alumnus of Super 60 2020, the co-founder of One Pitch, One Hand, and the head of marketing at Sprout Kumaraguru. He won district level quizzes held at PSG CAS, PSG Technology, Krishnamal, SNS College of Engineering. He also won the state-level quiz in Bharatiyar University, attended the Vikasha Leadership Retreat in Rishikesh in the year 2019. Next, we have Ms. Shakshita, who is the President, Department of Psychology. She will be felicitated by Dr. C. Ganaprakash, the HOD of the Psychology Department. A happy, confident, and a respectful individual, she believes that you grow through what you go through. She aspires to do something worthy in the industry, in the field of industrial and organizational psychology. She was the Vice President in the Rotary Club of Coimbatore Smart City. She is the co-lead of Yuva class and the co-team member of Girla Fembots Coimbatore. I aim to get into one of the best universities for my masters and further look forward to create impact in the field of industrial and organizational psychology, she says. Next, we have Ms. Sai Arpita, who is the President of the Department of Visual Communication. She will be felicitated by Dr. Devika, Assistant Professor of Viscom. An adaptable, compassionate, and a natural leader. She believes in the phrase, just do it. She was the lead of class, Soil, an assistant editor in the department newsletter, a chair of Design and Gift and Organ, a member of Kural, and a member of Rotary Club of Smart City Coimbatore, an Impact Rotary Actor of the month August, a Mahatma Gandhi Scholarship awardee, and she got a high commendation in the international press. She secured 3rd place in state-level yoga competition. To work as an advertising executive or corporate communication specialist is her goal, she says. Next, we have Mr. Dharmaraj, who will be felicitated by Dr. Joseph, the Director, KCT. The President of Social Work Department, an honest and a trustworthy individual, he believes in the saying, if you want to be trusted, be honest. His interest includes human resource in the industry sector and has held various positions such as volunteer in Arapur NGO and Agaram Foundation. He is passionate about social well-being and his goal is to work in the private sector. Next, we have Ms. Hind Chetwani, who will be felicitated. Dr. Shanti, Vice Principal of Class. She is the Academics Career Progression President, a courteous, diligent, and an inquisitive individual. She believes in the saying, so be great, be kind, don't let them dim your light. A woman like a sun should stay always bright. She takes interest in policy making and law, history, entrepreneurship, and welfare services. She was the Joint Public Relations Officer in Cubate during the year 2020, Documentation Co-Lead in Yuva 2020, the Secretary of the Department of Commerce during the year 2020, and the President of Guest Management Team Evolve 2020. She won the Best Speaker in Nilgiri's district, the panelist at National Peace Convention Kochi, and an organizer of Inspire India YouthCon. Next, we have Ms. Sastika, the President of Space Vertical. She will be felicitated by Dr. Vijla Edwin Kennedy, the Principal of the class. An optimistic, friendly, and a focused individual. She says, don't let anyone dull your sparkle. She takes interest in people and project management, poetry, research, and volunteering. She was one of the top 23 global finalists in Global Business Hackathon of TIE, bagged the Best Innovative Idea during the Yugam India Ideathon 2021, Arivichudar Award 2021 for individual, a Spectrum Budding Writer Award 2021. Her goal is to explore every opportunity that comes her way and to be an impactful change maker by serving leader by cracking administrative service examination. Next, we have Ms. Anam, the President of the Social Vertical, who will be felicitated by Dr. Shanti, the Vice Principal of Class. An amiable, courteous, empathetic, and an intuitive individual, she believes everything happens for a reason. She was a part of Evolve class webinar series, Sphere of Practical and Creative Exploration, and the captain of Visual Design Action Lab. She was the member of Women Empowerment Cell of class during the years 2020 to 2022. She was also a member of Community Outreach class, a steering community member during the years 2021 and 2022. a Mahatma Gandhi Scholarship Awardee during the year 2019, and she secured second place in Adds Up, a state-level inter-college feat, Flutter Fiesta 2019. She won second place in An Adia, the best management team. She secured second place in Fox Hunt during Yugam 2021. Next, we have Ms. Richa Abraham, the President of Ethics and Values. She will be felicitated by Dr. Vijala Kennedy, the Principal of Class. You may struggle to discover yourself and your interests. Sometimes all it needs is a shift in your perspective to succeed. But never give up is the saying she abides by. A self-motivated, empathetic, and a jubilant person, she takes interest in community service, psychology, and leadership. She is the chair of Kalam and Road Safety in Yuva, the lead for marketing in Sprout, a member of Namada Pangu, and a member of Ray and Cubate. Her goals include to complete her undergraduate in psychology and to become a successful psychologist and to help the student community. Next, we have Mr. Vasant, the President of Performing and Fine Arts. He will be felicitated by Sri Shankar Vanavaya, the President of Kumaraguru Institutions. An energetic, futuristic, and an optimistic individual, he takes interest in elocution and community management. He was the head of Tamil Mandram for 3 consecutive years, a department treasurer, and he also served as the campus ambassador for Inmovitu Technologies and a campus ambassador for the Rotaract Club of Karunya University. His goal is to have a deeper understanding about the country and to become an IAS officer by cracking the UPSC and to serve the nation. Next, we have Mr. Bharat Kumar, the President of Sportsmen, who will be felicitated by Dr. Dayal Rajan, the Head of Academic Operations. A confident, compassionate, and an enthusiastic individual. Never reply when you're angry, never make a promise when you're happy, and never make a decision when you're sad, is the saying he quotes. He was the team captain of Kabaddi of class, a member head of NSS class, a member of Uyir Club, and the member of Kumaraguru Bikers Club. He holds a runners-up in Kho district and an A certificate holder in National Cadet Corps, NCC. His goal is to get placed successfully and to win the Sika trophy, and also to become a successful businessman. Next, we have Ms. Saubhagya. She's the President of Sports Women, who will be felicitated by Dr. Vijalesh, the Assistant Dean, OSA. An energetic, passionate, and a sportive individual. Break your limits and never give up, she says. She was the DA of Sports Class, member of Young Ones, chair of Yuva in the Sports Vertical, a Super 16, a member of Cubate Club, and working at Stones to Milestones as a facilitator. She takes interest in exploring new places and nature, learning new cultures and wildlife photography. Her goals is to experience bungee jumping, well-being, and traveling to hill stations. And her long-term goal is to get successful placed and to be a public administrator.
Leadership is unlocking people's potential to become better. Ms. Anam, President of Social Vertical from class, will deliver her acceptance speech.
Greetings to the dignitaries, faculty members, supporting staff, parents and families, council members, and students present here, and all those who have joined us virtually. Today, as I stand here as President of Social Class, with humility, great sense of responsibility, and excitement, I promise to do my best to discharge my duties and fulfill the trust reposed in me and to take our legacy forward. We have benefited so much from the previous Student Council's tenures. Their leadership was steady, assured, pragmatic, and most of all had a clear vision for the transitions that were needed. And so, to the future. We, the Student Leadership Council 2022, as a tribe, over the next year will continue to build on our strengths as well as take on new directions. We will continue our programs that will strengthen our professionalism through education, training, and resources. We will also retain our commitment to solidarity, ensuring that our students can have more opportunities and assistance to develop the skills, methods, and frameworks required of a modern archive. Let's not forget that we are an institution united by our values and rich with talent. If each one of us puts in what we can get what we need. Also, so much more on top of that. Best wishes and congratulations to all the leaders of today. Thank you for the opportunity.
Leadership is a complex moral relationship between people based on trust, obligation, commitment, emotion, and a shared vision of the good. Mr. Sarin, President of Political Science class, will now deliver the pledge along with his fellow council members. I request students of Class Leadership Council to rise up.
Good afternoon, everyone. Requesting all the presidents to place their right hand above their left chest. We, the Leadership Council, pledge to serve our institution with pride and loyalty. We acknowledge that leadership is not a path to privilege, but a responsibility to progress. Inspired by the founder's vision and aligning with the institution's aspirations, our involvement will aid class in development and enable students to attain their true potential. We, as the Leadership Council, will discuss, deliberate, and suggest policy reforms, and will stand by continuous advancement in academic excellence and holistic well-being. We will treat everyone with respect and dignity and establish a culture that is open, truthful, and committed to excellence. We will strive to ensure that every aspiration and mission of every class student is represented. We will have a work ethic that will result in institutional enhancement and own our commitments to our stakeholders without compromises. We are united by a common goal to impact society, engineer a better nation, and strive for a better world. Congratulations, Presidents. Thank you, everyone. All is well.
Thank you, Saran. I request the dignitaries on the dais and the student leaders of class to remain seated for the group photo, and you may remove your masks for a minute for the group photo and put them back on again. I now request the student leaders of class to please occupy the seats in the audience. As we express our gratitude, we must never forget that the highest appreciation is to not utter words, but to live by them. I invite Dr. Vigilesh, Assistant Dean, Office of Student Affairs, KCT, to propose the vote of thanks.
Good afternoon to one and all present here and those who are viewing this ceremony online. On this August ceremony, I would like to say anything that begins well will also end well. And we are also aware that any process, if it is right, the result will also be right. So when we have the set of expectations, the processes that have been set for the last 5 years, and you are going to continue with those, what we can expect is assured. But the problem is, the onus is on you. The shoulder that you have given to hold this responsibility of 6,000 students, 900 faculty and non-teaching staff, all of them rests on your shoulders. And we expect that you drive through your dreams to achieve these aspirations of all these people. I now propose the vote of thanks. I take this opportunity to thank our visionary, philanthropist, a nation builder, Dr. N. Mahalingamaya, for having lit a light. And the light is becoming bigger and bigger by the day and is still amongst us, guiding us. I take this opportunity to bow before the light. I thank our chairman, Dr. B.K. Krishnaraj Vanavarayar, for always showing his constant support and motivating through each of his occasions whenever he obtains. And thank you, sir. I thank our beloved joint correspondent, Sri Shankar Vanavarayar, sir, for creating innovative avenues like the Leadership Council, through which we learn, emulate, and grow. So let us make use of these opportunities which are given to us. Thank you, sir. I thank Dr. Joseph V. Tanikal, Director, KCT, Dr. Saravanan, Principal, KCT, Dr. Vijila Kennedy, Principal Class, Deans, Associate Dean, Vice Principal Class, HODs, parents, well-wishers, all of you for encouraging the students on this particular auspicious occasion. I thank the CLED team for their tireless hours put together as you might have gone through the interview process, selection process, etc. So I thank the CLED team, the communications team for bringing all these things together, the MOC team for organizing a very good event, and for planning and presenting to us a great today. Thank you once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
We now draw the curtains of the investiture ceremony of the batch 2020 to 2021 by paying tributes to the nation, national anthem.
जनगण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्चल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे
While we thank your presence today, we would like to notify your interest to follow our institutional social media handles in LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube, and Instagram. Reiterating the COVID protocols, we request you to follow social distancing, wear masks, and sanitize your hands frequently. Refreshments are arranged alongside the auditorium for the participants. Thank you once again. This is Trisha from English Literature class.
And this is Adil Sharif from KCT Mechanical Engineering Final Year, officially signing off from Leadership Council Investiture 2021. Thank you and have a great day. I now request the student leaders of Leadership Council from KCT to occupy the dais for a group photo and the dignitaries to remain seated. Thank you.